Hello everybody and welcome back to another Banking App Insight session. The UK Challenger Banks for June of 2022, and flavour of the month is we're looking at the underperformers. Challenger Banks, it's a very competitive space, but unfortunately there's one that is consistently underperforming and they don't seem to be doing a heck of a lot about it. Isn't that right, Tony?
Definitely is. Thank you, Glenn. So if the few banks we're looking at here is Starling, Monzo, Revolut UK, Atom Bank, and Monese. And I'll just jump straight in and just have a look at how their engaged customer score is actually performing. So what we're looking at here is not normally look at this month by month, but I wanted to have a look at something across time here because this is looking quarterly. So we see here Q2 for each of our brands 2022, and we take it all the way back to Q2 2020, so back more than 12 months here, we can see what's actually going on. And the reason for that is that I want to sort of understand what has happened to Monese here, because basically it is floating at around 2.8, no real movement going on. But historically they have done well. Like in Q2 and Q3, they were actually competing well with some other banks. They were up there. Some potential slight improvement could have brought them up to the level of a lot of others. But that seems to not have happened. And we can see here there's like others are doing, like we saw that Starling here had this inconsistency into Q3. They picked themselves up. It was over a quarter they picked themselves up, but they're consistently sitting above 4.6, so very good there. They've actually done a great job. But let's have a look though at Monese. So one of the things I want to look at is, as I said, I'll compare Q3 2020 to Q2 2022. So what's actually happened between those two time periods? So if you've seen these before, you'll understand that this is our surf analysis. It's a nice quick first go-to understand, are you having some foundational problems? Are you having an issue with your basic logging in and usage of your product? So one of the things we see here, so surf analysis covers off those four areas like security, usability, reliability, and functionality. And one of the key things we can see between Q3 and Q2, Q3 2020 and Q2 now, is that one of the things that stands out is authentication has actually improved. So logging in issues aren't the problem. There are some problems, but it's not one of the major things that's changed. So that's a good thing in that sense. But then elsewhere we can see there's been some problems. So obviously these are pain points, so the higher the frequency, the worse it actually is. So design and UI issues are sitting at 6.3%, up from 5. We see that reliability is worse, and features and functionality is worse. So there's some issues across the board here for Monese. I can also have a brief look at this to see how much each of these areas are impacting the score. So one of the biggest impacts on the score is reliability and stability. That's actually dragging the score back by 0.08. But not much is here. Like there's some movement in the score, but it's not telling us that full picture of what's actually going on. So what we've done here is had a look outside that area and had a look at, I'll just move this right panel for the moment just to sort of to dig in here, is one of the things we saw in the data is there's actually some poor service issues going on. It's not just about the app as such. The app can go wrong, but the way to resolve that isn't being solved by the bank. So we can see here issues like poor digital channel have gone from 19 to 22, poor mobile app 18 to 21, poor service channel 19 to 22. So there's been some problems, technical issues have picked up as well. But let's have a look at this poor service channel. So let's jump into that and see what's going on inside there. So if I look to start with, maybe rather than looking at the comments straight away, what I can do is have a look at how this compares to others. So if I look at this, when people talk about the poor service channel, the Monese customers are on average giving a score of 1.7. And you can see there that's a lot lower than others in this area. So Starling, it's 3.5, even though it's a sort of a problem area, they're still getting a 3.5. So those who are unhappy are not very unhappy, it's only slightly unhappy, whereas the Monese customers are really unhappy. Let's have a look though, if we look at, if I look here at, give me a moment, I'm actually filter now and have a look at Monese on its own on the right here and just see what's going on. So if I look on the right panel and get some examples here, give me a moment to bring this up, is this one around the poor service channel. let's just jump in and have a look and see what's going on with Monese. So this is actually Monese, poor service channel, and I might just have a look at those who are giving a particularly negative comment to sort of get us down to sort of some of that root cause of what's going on inside here. So I'll look at this poor service channel. I can jump in here and see these types of comments. So one of the things that's coming up, this very first one is sort of an indication of what's going on. Yeah, some things like they've changed your phone or your account, you'll be blocked, and it could take weeks or months for someone to reply to the email. So it looks like things outside the app are also causing an issue. That no one who works for the bank, no one works in the bank to hear from you. So there's issues about getting hold of anyone from Monese. They blocked my account for 1 month, no clear reason for the customer, and the customer service was abysmal. So attached to these issues, customers also, there's no way to solve it through other channels. So they're having some major concerns going on. Again, here my account was frozen. Has been for 2 months. Support was unhelpful. Advised me to wait for an email. Again, so this is a major concern, and it potentially could be things around, like say, growth issues where the customer service cannot handle what's going on. But again, if your app is underperforming, you increase the pressure on other channels, and Monese isn't handling that pressure in the other channels, which causes a sort of an additional effect of decreasing that customer service. So major issues for Monese, and they need to pick up their act across multiple channels.
Yeah, and just because you're a digital bank, it doesn't stop the fact that you're dealing with people, and people have people problems and need people to help solve them. Great insights, Tony. Thanks again. A very, very quick little look at Monese and the UK Challenger Bank sector. If you want to have a look at your bank and your sector, or if you've got anything you want to add to this conversation, feel free to do so. We'll see you next month with a whole bunch of more insight sessions. Have a great week. Catch you later.